suspicion that a felony is taking place. In Peter's case, he's not going out to commit acts of unnecessary violence against criminals. In fact, getting the job done while hurting as few people as possible is kind of his whole thing. And as far as we know, the New York police never put in criminals, which strongly suggests that none of what he was doing would be considered criminal. So while the guy interrogated be using words that sound intimidating, the truth is that unless he has some other actual charge that he's not talking about, Ned
It's a law video.
isn't facing anything that would actually result in criminal penalties. Peter, on the other hand, though, does have a warrant out for his arrest. But what's interesting is that we see him defending himself against a very specific charge. I didn't kill Quentin Beck. That's worth calling out here because if we look at what Peter was framed for in the previous film, we'd expect him to be facing much more serious charges.
He has an army weaponized drone. Start picking.
Are you sure you want
Oh yeah.
Do it. Execute them all.
Mysterio not only framed
Execute
Peter
them all.
Parker for his own murder, but for the drone attack
In
on
London.
Tower Bridge.
And-
While we don't see anyone killed on screen, we do see a bunch of people fleeing from the drones as the
What the
Queen
hell?
battles them.
I
Not
don't
to mention
remember
the
that.
Millions of dollars in damage that's being done to Tower Bridge and all the vehicles on it. Those are pretty serious crimes to add to the rap sheet. So is this the
Conclusive proof that Spider-Man was responsible for the brutal murder of Mysterio.
based on evidence presented, would Spider-Man need to go to trial? And once there, would he be found guilty? Well, the answers to those questions are no and no. Matt Murdock is probably right. Those charges won't
I'm a
stick,
very
and you
good
don't
lawyer.
need to be a really good lawyer with excellent reflexes to make them go away either. Now, crime
Oh, it's crazy to think that Daredevil was actually in a Spider-Man movie. After like years of me saying it, I even said it before it came out on this channel itself. I said that Daredevil should be in the movie. I didn't think he would be, but I really wanted him to be, and I did say he would be actually. And Daredevil was in it, so you know I pretty much predicted it. I'm always right. I'm sick. I'm the best person alive. Let's carry on watching it.
Peter has to defend against occurred in London, so technically British law enforcement...
There's the Shard.
But honestly, we don't even need to get that complicated to see how this case is gonna go. First and foremost, it's pretty clear that Mysterio's video is the only real piece of evidence here for any and all charges. There were no witnesses on the bridge, and as Peter rightly calls out in the movie, he didn't kill Quint Beck, the drones did. The drones were also the things causing damage to Tower Bridge, so it ripped drones. If the drones keep an audio log, well, then Peter's immediately in the clear. But we're gonna assume that that's not the case, which means that the video is really the only piece of evidence that we have to go on here. Right off the bat, it's highly likely that the video will get exposed as doctored.
Premiere.
Experts or people respond, it's highly likely that the video will get exposed as doctored.
Yeah, I mean I like editing and Premiere and stuff.
Forensic experts are people
I should put
responsible
more
for
effort into these
identifying,
videos if I'm gonna be real,
reconstructing
but
any evidence that's
I'm
been
lazy,
used in a trial.
so.
And they come in all sorts of different varieties.
Why is
Everything from
Pikachu
forensic
here?
Analysis to digital or computer forensics. But here, we'd be looking for video forensics experts. Something that a video forensics expert might do, for instance, is look for inconsistencies in the lighting or shadows. Stuff that a normal viewer might not see, but suggests that the video's been doctored. This is something that's actually becoming more and more important in courtrooms as deepfake videos become better and more prevalent. But with
Like in porn.
Mysterio's video, this one is actually pretty easy to debunk. They'd be able to immediately tell based on ambient noise that the audio had been edited to pull Edith and Peter lines from two separate moments in time, thereby getting the evidence and thus the charge.
Yeah, they kind of did skip over like
But okay,
all of
let's
this.
assume that they can't immediately
In
tell
No
that
Way
the video is
Home.
fake. Is there still a case here? Well, again, no. Look at the video. Peter's face isn't seen on camera. All we see are just some spider legs. That's not conclusive, and likely would not hold up in court. All we have to go off of is Mysterio identifying
Mysterio.
the people attacking him as being
What a guy.
Peter Parker. Now, this one is actually interesting. Normally, something like this would be dismissed as hearsay, an out-of-court statement that's offered to prove the truth of whatever it asserts. It's Peter because the accuser says it's Peter. That's not evidence, that's just an accusation. But here, Mysterio actually benefits from an interesting loophole. Statements made by someone who's dying are allowed to stay in as evidence. So his accusation of Peter would be capped, but that doesn't necessarily mean
What the hell?
hearsay ends here. To
The-
get a video
okay.
like this admitted into evidence, it needs to be authenticated. There needs to be a way to prove that it is what it claims to be. Basically, there needs to be a witness to say, yep, this one's mine, I filmed it. If there's no witness present who can be cross-examined about the evidence, then an attorney can argue that the
Daredevil.
substance of the photo or video is hearsay, thus getting it dismissed. And considering that the only two people there on the bridge were Mysterio and Peter, the video would never make it to court, meaning that all charges are dropped. In short,
I mean-
as unbelievable as it was to see the charges go away that quickly and no Way Home, it's not actually that far-fetched. There was nothing truly holding up the case, not even the accusers. And you see, this is the weird little conspiracy that I think I found. So this whole investigation was put on not by the police department or the FBI, but rather by the Department of Damage Control, which, let me just be clear, is not a real thing.
Yeah, it's Marvel.
Organization that exists within the Marvel universe. Remember when Spider-Man Homecoming started with Adrian Toomes?
Vulture, yeah, they were part of that, I know.
A salvage company got put out of business. Well, the reason that the Vulture had to turn to a life of crime was
A joint venture between Stark Industries and the federal government and the Department of Damage Control will oversee the collection and storage of alien and other exotic
a
materials.
Stark Industry joint venture with the
This tower is definitely going to become Fantastic Four's tower for sure. Yeah, they're definitely getting this.
Started as exotic waste removal, but in No Way Home allegedly does law enforcement. I don't know. It sounds awfully suspicious. And that, I think, is the key to what's really going on here. The way that Damage Control comes after Peter Parker hard only to completely drop the charges doesn't make much sense if you're just thinking of them as regular law enforcement. But it makes total sense when you realize that they're not law enforcement. They're a cleanup crew from Stark Industries, doing this specifically so Peter, Mr. Tony Stark 2.0, can get off scot-free. By stepping
I'm not
up
sure
themselves,
about
they
that.
ensure that they're the ones in control of the situation rather than leave things up to traditional law enforcement. Damage Control is able to swoop in and make a big to-do
I mean,
about
kind of.
look at Peter Parker and his friends, putting on a show for the actual police. They make it look like they're playing hardball while actually gently lobbing a bunch of softballs the entire time, making up a bunch of charges that sound scary but actually amount to very little, all while waiting for the anti-Peter sentiments to die down. In the process, they protect the reputations of everyone involved. Oh yeah, and it probably merits mentioning, but in the comics, the Department of Damage Control was actually started as a joint venture between Tony Stark and Wilson Fisk. Yeah, that Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, who, based
Kingpin.
on Hawkeye and Matt Murdock's appearance here, is definitely a part of the MCU. Not really saying that it matters
Yeah.
here, just pointing out that we should probably be paying
Kingpin's
attention to
back as well.
strings the next time we see the
Ultron.
But hey, that's just a theory.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
A conspiracy theory about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, meaning a film theory.
But yeah, that was something. I don't know what that was trying to say, but I guess it was just kind of a lore video about Spider-Man. I mean, they did kind of skip over that part in No Way Home, but no one cares about how he beat the case. It was just Daredevil coming in. Wait, where's the meme? Here we go. Barge interview. Catch brick. I'm a very good lawyer. Refuse to elaborate. Leave. Chad. yeah, this is it. yeah, forget me. So yeah, basically, he just came in. He just said that line. It was hype to see Daredevil, but then he just left, like a Chad. So doesn't really need to be explained. The main part was all the villains coming back, and of course all three Spider-Men together. But yeah, that was a reaction video. I mean, it was Spider-Man, so you know, got a free video out of that. So yeah, subscribe. It's just a video, a Spider-Man video.